Hi, Spokanites and Second Cityites. So glad to be here, at least virtually. I wish I could have flown up to Spokane to join your 50th anniversary party for Second City. Wow, can you believe it? 5 decades. Thank you, everybody who organized it. And I have to tell you, I'm so thrilled that I was able to bring Second City into birth alignment. It's one of the most spectacular experiences in my life. And we all participated in making Spokane a creative venue that people could enjoy. Great food, children's bookstores, graphic design. I mean, it really was a city. And I can't be more grateful for the opportunity for a fabulous space to show some of the most amazing artists in the Northwest and across the United States during that 8 year period. So many of the businesses that were birthed in Second City continued after I left, even though the building was torn down. And it provided a new beginning, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what I've been up to for the last 50 years. Can't go into detail because it's pretty complex. Anyway, I stayed in the art business after I returned from Afghanistan, which is where I went after I closed my gallery in Spokane. And I had no idea what I was going to experience. It was a calling, if you will, and I answered. And it was an amazing experience in humanity. And it was only 25 years later that I discovered the slides that I took while I was there. And my heart was just burst open seeing the beauty of the Afghan people during a time of peace. And so I started a website in the year 2000 and got some amazing responses from Afghans who had fled. I still receive emails of Afghans reaching out, children of some of the people that I photographed, and so more heartwarming. And in the last 5 years, I've been working on a book, and it's been an interesting challenge because I had to learn how to write, and I'm a visual person. So it's a story worth telling, and now is the most important time, as I'm sure you all know. And the title of the book is Modern Nomad Into the Heart of the Silk Road, Afghanistan, 1977. And it's almost done. Beautyofafghanistan.com. So I've also been involved this whole 40 years in the art world. And so I was a gallery dealer and I had a West Hollywood private gallery and did all kinds of things until I jumped the desk, as I call it, in 1994 and became the artist, quote, quote, at last, as my photography became my number one passion. And so I've been working with that ever since. And did have a show in Spokane, 2005 at the Spokane Art School, which was wonderful, my mythology work. And I just want to say I'm thrilled to be here. I've included here a video that was taken by a news crew of my closing show at the Juniper Tree, Second City. And I wish I knew who they were, but I can't remember. And anyway, the film just got transferred into a new medium about 6 months ago, and there was quite a bit of damage and loss, but there's quite a bit of really fun things that I think you'll enjoy, and you will know you're at a party. So enjoy, and I'll be back to Spokane one of these days soon again, and hope to see you all. Bye for now. Vision, follow the dream. A farewell to Spokane. Well, this is part of a dream. And a dream can never be exactly repeated in reality. But it is an environment, and it's a concept of an environment. I'm trying to present that in a dimension, which is trying to create an atmosphere for people so that they can walk into the concept and become part of it without having to intellectualize, what it means, because the first impact would be one of feeling. I suppose it's more akin to theater than, I don't know how you separate art from theater, but anyway, I feel it's sort of a theatrical piece. But there's also one attribute that I wanted to get across to people was kind of a fantasy atmosphere and a clearness just because of the white. It becomes very surrealistic, of course, when you put a tree up against a white wall. And that makes it more surreal to have those elements combined, because it is sort of like a dream where you're not quite sure if it's real or if it's not real. Dreams in life, not just dreams in your sleep, for example, are something that often people do not follow. People kind of compromise their lives, and they get involved in that compromise, and then they accept that as being their life, and things do show up like unhappiness or frustration or things. There are symbols, to say, listen a little closer, but the point of following the dream is to go ahead and try things out, take an adventure. And most likely, if you try something that you really want to do, you really enjoy yourself, and that leads you from one step to the next. The last 8 years of my life have been a process piece in themselves, because I've been experiencing things that I was involved in that happened sort of on the moment. I've decided recently my life is an explosion, because I'll get an idea and it sort of pops out, and then I'll start doing it, and of course the ramifications of that always become greater than what the first concept was. But I do follow those intuitions, and I do follow those ideas, and that's where this one came out from that too. The element of beauty in a garden and dealing with flowers and plants, as being kind of an element of being in contact with the earth and that part of, life, which is very real. Here we are down in concrete all the time, and you get disconnected from those kinds of things. So again, the garden, the growing, the symbolic element of the garden, not the weeds but the flowers.
I'm waiting for the big opening.
What opening is it?
It's the closing.
It's a closing of an opening?
Yeah, it's an opening of the closing.
Opening of a closing.
That's why you're standing here?
I'm waiting to get in.
In where?
Joanne Prigmore's gallery. We were told to come here tonight for an event that starts at 8 o'clock.
What's it going to be?
I wished I knew.
You don't know?
I'm about to
Why
find
did you
out.
come if you didn't know what it was?
Because I know Joanne Prigmore.
What do you have to say? Are you pleased with the party so far?
This is supposed to be a farewell piece to Spokane.
I retract my statement. This part is wonderful.
By Joanne.
Without Joanne Prigmore, the cultural scene in Spokane would be absolutely
Did you realize
boring.
where it's headed?
Yes.
I mean, Joy.
I'll be a basket case without joy.
Two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, it's your must, it really got to be your love. Oh, well, it's your must, it really got to be your love. Hey, something holding me.
Things have to do with impact, and I think people like to have an impact. And if you just sort of subtly do something, it doesn't have enough impact. And people really need that, to try and start looking at something new.
Yeah. And get credit for it. Feel like they did it.
I think one thing that's very important with anything that's young or that's new, it's like a tree or a leaf or a plant. If you don't water it, it dies. I think people get just sort of locked into what they're doing, but I think exchange is very
Here more than
necessary.
other places.
Well, it seems to be, more so here, but again, we don't have enough things from the outside for, that kind of input.
Stimulus.
Right? It really should be somewhat symbolic to Spokane, but I suppose in a way it's more a message for myself. So.
To yourself.
Yeah, right. And,
Well,
Spokane,
that's probably
right.
what always goes on, but you're more honest about it.
Right. Now, I do feel that Spokane has given me an opportunity to explore these things.
Oh.
So,
In that sense, it's a positive.
right. Just by allowing it to happen, certainly not by total support.
Not
but
support, right. It's all together now. It's finished
all
as
together.
far as it can be before people come.
Well, I don't think it's ever finished.
Okay.
Is a dream ever finished?
Yeah.
Does a vision ever stop? It is not finished.
It's
No.
A flying arch cut by a bird's wing into an abstract shape of peace.